started here. You're gonna lay out the parts you're gonna need. This is a splitter right here to split up the power bank. Plug it in off the, what is that? The main power supply, screws, nuts, fan. Mine had come without the hardware, so I had to purchase it Home Depot. Put the fan aside. It's a neat little trick. Pick up those screws and bolts and put aside the 10 fan splitter, which is total overkill, not needed, but it's all that was available. So we got here, lay out these are the Home Depot specials. You know what? I can't believe the fan from Best Buy, no mounting hardware, totally blew my mind. Make sure when you purchase the nuts and bolts, make sure they're the lock nuts. They'll have a little plastic O-ring in them. Make sure they don't back off once you lock them down. And you'll see here, just regular old Phillips, some kind of stainless steel or alloyed. You'll see I'm pointing out there that they have the little bit of white in there, the lock washer. And me, myself, I like to put all this hardware together, put it all back on. You'll see that red spot right there. That's not going to be needed in this installation, and probably would never be needed if you're adding an extra fan. That would be for a new build. See right here, pointed out, bang. That's what we're connecting to right off the main power supply, and you'll see it down there at the bottom. And they did not give me much room to work with. And this is another connection. This would be if you were putting it off one of the fan leads, and then all of them would be controlled at the same speed. And then the red ones, reserved for multi-speed. You see it right here. I'm going to back in all the screws so we don't lose them. Make sure everything's there when I go to find it later. So that's handy. Make sure you do that. And then here, what do we got going on? Put everything aside. Safekeeping. And we got to split open this cage here soon enough. So drag this over here. Make sure you're working somewhere sturdy. This is not the best spot to be working, but it's all I have available while I'm working on my basement. So here, take these screws off. We'll speed it up. Some people like to see all the screws taken off for some reason. There it is. Not much to work with. Coming right off that main power supply, right over the GPU there. I'll try to take a few different angles and shots on this so you can kind of get the best idea. I'm highlighting it again, what we're connecting to, so you can't make any mistakes. There's a little two-sided tape on the bottom of that, showing from the other angle. And let's see here. Okay, there it is, all plugged in. Not fastened down yet, but plugged in, showing you from another angle, all plugged in. I think in the next segment here, you're going to see it will be fastened past the GPU. Nice and clean. Make sure you guys keep your computers clean. That's the one thing. And when I started this project, I cleaned it. Weekly operation there, clean it. Because you'll see I'm going to be embarrassed when this thing goes on its side and you see all the dust that's involved and how much would be normally sucked in. There it is mounted. So that's great. It didn't stay there. I had to mount it somewhere else. It was very nearby. It was just right around the side. At first you don't succeed, try again. That spot I'm going to put it in. Look at how tight it is with the two cheapy pieces of RAM in there. Those two green non-matching garbage. See it down there, all the dirt on that intake fan right there for the power supply. Disgusting. I forgot to clean that. But all the other fan blades, coolers, radiators, it's a liquid cooled unit, so you got to keep everything nice. Right here, what I'm going to show you, that's the screen off the front. Just kind of zip by real quick, so that kind of dust doesn't happen. And just to make sure, what I'm going to do here is measure to see if this fan's actually going to fit in there properly. And you'll see here, I still got the bolts in it. And let's see here. And I'm indicating that, see that? Those bars indicate that that's the way the fan will be blowing. If the bars are you keep the bars in the orientation that you want the fan to blow. So you'll see here, and mine, when you're putting it in, you just dry mount it and then work on your wire configuration. See if you have a way to mount the wires. Make sure you have enough distance on the wires prior to actually locking it down. It's kind of very important, because if not, you'll do it 2-3 times over. So you can see here it's semi-mounted. It's probably not the best tool, but Come to find out, my ratchet said I couldn't find the ratchet, so I used a screwdriver and a pair of pliers. Make sure if you're going to use a pair of pliers to be sturdy on the nut before completely locking down and twisting the screw. And then we'll speed this up here for you in a minute. Some people like to see every one of them. You're actually going to notice that down near those 2 bars of ram, I had to not put a screw in, or I was going to have to remove the ram, put the ram back in, and the fan worked properly and it was well balanced. And we'll speed it up here, get all this set up, balanced, locked down real tight. You'll notice when I'm locking it down, I'm alternating. Jiggle a little bit, alternate, jiggle a little bit, alternate. Don't lock it all down at once, it'll be crooked. So you want to make sure it locks down evenly across all the bolts. Same thing here, even when I put this down, make sure it's nice and straight, secure. Lock down a little bit, go to the next one. Make sure they all lock, because if you lock down one tight, and see how there I had to push it down? If you were to lock it down and it was still up, that would remain up. Could crack your glass when you put it in. So just make sure you're mindful when working with computers. See, I'm even taking the extra time to just realign it one more time. Lock it down nice and tight. This speeds it up for you. My favorite part's going to come up here in a minute. See, even one more time I had to adjust it just to make sure. Stand it up straight here and look at it. See, it's all nice and mounted. Don't mind that mustard, salt, mustard and ketchup and relish wires there. But here we're going to power it on. Can't wait. This is my favorite part. Whee! Here we go. All powered on. Looking great. And hopefully this helped you install a fan into your